Good afternoon, everybody. My name is Scott Rawl. I'm the president of Nobles County Pheasants Forever in Worthington, Minnesota. And we're out today with Katie Klosterber. We're doing a little bit of a wildlife afternoon. We're hoping to show you some cool stuff. And the first thing we're going to talk about is this box that we see right here. This is a nesting structure that I put up. It's a man-made structure designed to replace a rotted tree with a hole in it. So waterfowl like a wood duck or a merganser will nest in here. And before I put this up, back in the day, they would fly around in groves like this, with the big tall trees, and they would be looking for like a hole in the tree where they would then lay their eggs. And so we put these up to mimic the natural rotted out hole of a regular tree. And this box right here and ones like it all over North America have been credited with saving a species of duck called wood duck. And they are the prettiest duck ever. They're called cavity nesters. And so we put a little pipe around the bottom, and then there's a piece of wire up here. And so what happens is when the wood duck is in here and she's doing her thing and she's laying eggs and incubating, they lay about 8 or 10 eggs each year. And then when they're done incubating, they lay one egg and then fly away. And they come back the next day and they lay one egg and then they fly away. And when all 12 eggs are laid, then she'll come back and sit on them and incubate them for about a month. And the reason that she does that is because if she laid an egg and then sat on it and then laid another egg the next day, each egg would hatch one day apart. And when the first egg hatches in this box, mom will wait for 24 hours. And if you don't hatch in 24 hours, then she'll take the ducklings that have hatched and she'll leave with them. So by incubating them all at the same time, all for the same length of time, then all the eggs will hatch literally within just a few hours of each other. And so this predator guard is on here to keep raccoons and other predators from climbing up in here and trying to get in and eat her eggs, or maybe even eat her. And then there's a little wire on here because field mice will actually even crawl up the post and get in there and devour on the eggs. And so the side opens up, and you can look and see in here what's happened in this box. And this is what you see here is we start the box with wood chips. And then what Mama Wood Duck does is when she lays an egg, then she takes and pulls the down off of her breast and covers up that egg. And it doesn't keep the egg warm, but it keeps it from freezing. Because ducks nest early in the spring, about April. And there's lots of days in April that still freeze overnight. And so by pulling off the down from her chest, she then covers up those eggs to keep them viable. So when they hatch, you can see here's a little picture of the eggshell that's left over from one of the eggs. And little wood ducks have toenails. They're really cool. And if you look in the box here, you can spin around here, and you see this little ladder right here, this little mesh ladder, that allows the wood duck's toenails to grab up onto that, and then they jump out. And so when they're ready to go, mom will sit out on the ground, and she'll call to them, and the little wood ducks will climb up here and they'll look out the hole, and it's a big long fall for them. So they're kind of nervous, and then one at a time they go bloop, 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 and they all drop out on the ground. And then mama then will walk them from here down. There's a creek down here and some ponds. And then she takes them there to the water for safety. And so I have about 15 of these wood duck boxes up, and they get used. About 12 out of the 15 will get used every year. And so it is a way for humans, for us, when we've taken down all the dead trees and taken away all the places that wood ducks and mergansers would normally nest, then we have an opportunity to help replace that, and then we protect them. And these nests have successful hatches. About 12 out of 15 get used every year, and of the 12 that get used, about 10 of them will actually successfully hatch out a clutch, which in the wild, if out of 100 clutches were hatched, only 4 to 10 of those would actually survive. The reproduction rate for waterfowl is 4 to 10%. 10% is really, really high. 4% is about the low. And in some cases, when they, like mallards that nest on the ground, a lot of times those nests are almost all destroyed. And so a man-made wood duck box, you can see the foam around the down around the edge of the door there, where mama was coming and going, and they come flying in here at 20 miles an hour and they go floop, and they drop right in the box. I don't know how they do that without hitting their head, but it's really cool. And this is something that conservationists do to help propagate wildlife on wildlife areas like this one.